Live from New York, it's Ask an Engineer.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another glorious and amazing and fantastic and wonderful Ask Engineer. It's me. You can ask me anything. I'm the engineer, and with me is the Punisher, who...
What?
Well, you're wearing your Punisher shirt.
This is a t-shirt.
It's just a t-shirt. He's not really Frank Castle, but he is Mr. Lady 8. He's on camera control. We got an exciting show for you tonight. Can you tell them what's on tonight's show?
Nothing, just static.
That's
No.
so goth.
No. Tonight, we're going to talk about the show and tell, all the people who show and shared amazing things and more. Pack of the Mailbag's going to stop by. Help Wanted. Adafruit Jobs Board, all the things online with makers that want jobs and companies that want makers.
Mm-hmm.
Time travel, look back in the world of makers, hackers, artists, and engineers, and more. Wearables, 3D printing, new products, we'll answer your question, limited trivia question, all that and more on Ask an Engineer.
Yay! It's fall. It's like officially like super fall now. It's kind of crispy.
Yeah,
you
super
get like
fall.
your hoodies on, got lattes and hot, not cold.
Yeah.
And things are getting exciting here at Adafruit because we're getting geared up for the holidays.
Is it? Is that true?
I mean, like,
It's pretty boring. Nothing really goes on here.
do you want to just cancel the show because
Yeah.
there's nothing happened? There's no news, nothing.
Nah,
Yeah.
just had some lunch, played some tennis.
Okay, well, I've got some exciting circuit boards to work on, but let's just finish this show and tell them all the boring
All right.
stuff that happened this week.
Everything is absolutely all happening at once. It's like that, there's this video of, there was a fireworks accident, and all the fireworks...
San Diego thing?
All
Yeah.
the fireworks went off at once. It's kind of like that right now.
Well, didn't you tell me once that you're glad that time exists because otherwise everything would be happening at once? Pardon me.
Yeah, I actually want to insert more time in between things.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is interesting, and that's not all happening at once, at least not our perception. Okay.
But it seems like it is. Anyways, a very exciting time, a very exciting show and
Yeah.
more. And you guys will watch this unspool live
Yeah.
on
All
the
right.
show. So yeah.
First up, let's pay some bills. The code is ALD15. I'm carrying this code over from Ada Lovelace Day because it was just easier to keep the code the same.
Well, that was just yesterday,
It
so
was
whatever.
just yesterday, and
Yeah.
it's still yesterday in some parts of the world. So I decided to keep it ALD15. That's 10% off in the Adafruit store. Everything except for gift certificates and also software. So that'll get you 10% off all the way up to 11:59 p.m. tonight. I am turning it off later tonight.
Everything. Raspberry
Yeah.
Pis, Arduinos, starter
Yeah.
kits, like 3D printers. It's a bargain. Now's the time to get a thing. 10% off.
Yeah. So that's the first thing. The next thing is big giant news. Our free deals have been updated.
You thought we were going to show you the same freebie photo that we have for the last 6 months. You were wrong. We have updated and
Yeah.
upgraded our freebies. We are now including $99 or more, the PermaPrinter half-size breadboard, the best freebie ever. Nobody's ever said I didn't like this freebie. This is the most loved freebie. For $150 or more, you get a Trinket 5V, the new version of the micro USB. It is even smaller than ever. You could swallow this dev board. Don't. It's got an AT-Tiny 85. You can use it with your Arduino IDE. It has 5 GPIO pins. It's got LEDs. It's great. People use it with NeoPixels. It's awesome. We also have, for $250 or more, the Pro Trinket 5V, our most popular Pro Trinket. It's got even more pins. It's kind of like an Arduino without needing the FTDI chip. People love it. People use it for all sorts of projects. Especially when you use an Arduino and then you want something really, really small. This is a great alternative. You don't need an FTDI cable. You just plug into USB, program it directly. You act like a keyboard and mouse. Anyways, these are much loved. And then $200 or more you get for UPS ground.
That's right.
Okay.
And not SurePost or SmartPost. It is real UPS
Real.
ground that shows up, that's trackable.
Genuine.
That's good.
UPS.
If anything
Not
happens,
a laser ship.
Well, the other thing, if anything happens, we replace the package, no questions asked, like all these good things. And then the last tier is $250 or more. You get the Adafruit Pro Trinket.
I said I skipped. I went.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
We'll say it again.
If you were to go in order.
If I were smart and I had done it in order, but I went out of order. But yes. So
You're the smartest person I know, and everybody else. We're doomed. Like, you are the highest. Like, this is it. I live with you. I know. I've watched this. You guys have no idea. So you're very smart.
Okay, but
You're
I was not able to do. Basically, you can get up to 4 free things: shipping, half-size breadboard, trinket, and pro trinket all at the same time if you order something.
It's like living with Lex Luthor, but Lex Luthor does educational electronics. That's what it's like.
But you're wearing a Marvel shirt, and Lex Luthor is DC land. You can't.
Referring to this other thing.
You have to keep them separated.
No, you don't.
Yeah, keep them separated. So you can, and you get 10% off. Anyways, it's a good time to order something.
Okay. All right. Also, don't forget, Adafruit same day. We shipped a ton of same day orders today.
Really?
Everybody was freaking out. Advertising agencies around the city have deadlines that they waited all the way till now to finish.
You know what's interesting is we know when this is actually going to hit the same day delivery is around Thanksgiving and around Christmas because a surprising number of store displays in New York have like robotics or LEDs, and they tend to use Adafruit stuff. And they always ask like the day before Black Friday, hey, can we come by and like pick up some NeoPixels? And we're like, no. And now we'll have this instead.
Okay. So, little reminder, we do this show every single week, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You might be watching it, it's already recorded, so I'm letting you know, and this is live. And then we also do Show and Tell, which is 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that's where people around the world show and share their amazing projects, hacker spaces, retro hardware, you name it, they do it. Lady Ada, what was on the Show and Tell?
I would love to tell you. I have this piece of paper right here. We start off with Tony DeCola, who did a small demo of our Bluefruit LE Shield. We have a lot of Bluefruit LE stuff, Bluetooth LE stuff, and Tony DeCola showed off, and it works with our app, Android, iOS. We'll show also later new products, but it was great to just have him make sure it worked, and it does. Great. And he's doing all sorts of cool stuff with Raspberry Pi that he'll show off next week. Nan Pedro came by from Adafruit Southeast. They're working with Aaron and Phil B, who are well-loved tutorial makers, on a Wasp helmet, like the Wasp, like the character who shows up at the end of Ant-Man in the credits, like this lady Wasp. She has her own movie coming out. Somehow she got her own movie, and anyways, they were gonna make a helmet and like some sort of moving Wasp wing type thing, and so Noah and Pedro have been working on the helmet, and there's LEDs in it, and it's fully 3D printed, and they're going to put resin on it, and there's video coming out tomorrow, so watch tomorrow 3D Thursdays on 3D Hangouts, 3 p.m. on Thursdays to see more about the Wasp helmet. It's hard to say that. Tongue twister. Aiden came by with more soft robotics. He's a soft robotics fan. And he's experimenting now with.
An expert at this point.
He's probably the best in the world. He has a double actuator, so he has a soft robot leg that has extending and bending, so it can like move and like maybe like walk with this leg because it can like move and extend. So he's actually getting to the point where he's making these special molds that you can have like 2 tubes go through, and then he can cinch them, and it's airtight. He's like getting really good at like without having a multi-million-dollar DARPA grant, he can do soft robotics using like a 3D printer and some silicone molding gel. So this is kind of neat to watch. Sally came by. I haven't seen her in a while. She's done awesome stuff with Wearable electronics, and she showed off some of the projects that she had at Maker Faire New York, where she had her own area. She has a sound sensing soft circuit, a gesture sensor soft circuit, as well as a really brilliant jewelry. There's a jewelry holder that she repurposed for electronics. It's like this hang-up. It looks a little bit like those shoe holders that hang up where you put your shoes in, except it has zippers on all of them, and it's meant for jewelry, so you could hang up your jewelry in a closet. Because if you have like a jewelry box, because like all engineers have a jewelry box, the problem is that you have these compartments, but things get jumbled up very easily, especially with like stranded things like necklaces and bracelets. A box is very bad because it gets all tangled. With this, it sits flat and you can see everything. So she repurposed that for electronics. And so she has like NeoPixel rings and like trinkets and like Arduinos. It's actually really cool. So check out the video because I think people will catch on to this. The best Matt Jensen is learning to build his own DIY Arduinos in order to save some money. Great idea. Arduino is open source. You can do that. He's making a DIY Arduino relay for turning off some appliances that he keeps forgetting. And then he's going to add Bluetooth low energy to it, or Wi-Fi, I'm not sure yet, so that he can remotely turn off these appliances as well. Great first project, Internet of Things type stuff. Marcel built a tube amp, but not the tube amp you're thinking of. This one actually is a round plastic tube with a Max 9744 20-watt Class D amplifier. That's the stereo Class D amp we have in the store. Volume control, a NeoPixel ring, so when you like turn the volume, like the little LED follows, an LCD, and Arduino compatible. And what he did is he took all of the GitHub repositories we have with hardware and then made a board where all of our breakouts kind of snap into place. Looks really cool, and he just showed off how I think it was CNC'd and put together. It's a really beautiful amplifier. Frederick is a software developer from Massachusetts and showed off Newsbio, which is a Windows.NET USB to GPIO converter. So if you write code in C# or .NET, as many of you do, but you want to basically implement hardware and add hardware to your .NET and C# program, this is a little interface box that lets you convert. He has ported a lot of our libraries to .NET and C# so you can use it within the Windows development environment. Virgil is celebrating his 1-year anniversary of coming on the show and tell with a remake of a Halloween cauldron that he had last year where you reach in and it like screams, which is kind of cool. But he said last year people kept like tearing at the wires, and so he's learning how to make an enclosure this year. And then C. Scott's working on this modular stuff that he's doing, and he's having some problems fitting all these components onto a board. But I think he can do it. I think he'll figure it out and solve it because it's C. Scott.
Yeah, he's not going to stop.
Okay,
all participants on the show and tell get an As Seen on the Show and Tell sticker. Just email support@adafruit.com if you're on the show and tell, and we will send you one. Right now, when we post up about the show and tell, please add us to circles, and then we will also let you know that we've done that. Google is now limiting the number of people. We have so many people who want to be on the show and tell that they've limited it. So what we do is we put a link no matter what, and we also let the people know they've been added to the circle. Last night, we met with all sorts of people from Google, and we have a bunch of requests. We're trying to work with Google and find the people who work on Hangouts and the YouTube channel. It's a giant company. It's really difficult to do stuff, but we have the longest running shows. We're doing the most complicated, interesting things. It's just really hard to find the right people. If you happen to be a AI and you are Google, call me. And if you happen to work there and you know people that can help us navigate, we have so many people in our community that Google doesn't allow us to invite them all, and we actually want to do that. So we need to...
Yeah, because we don't actually have all 580 persons show up at once. But
yeah, and there's no... And like the answer can't be, well, just make another circle, because that one's going to fill up. So that's not...
Look, we're doing our best here. Just watch for the link, click on it, join in. We fill up every week, so it's working out.
That's how you get on the show and tell right now. Okay, Packet Mailbag.
Hey, I'm Packet, and I've got some cute converses.
Every single week, we have our all-company meeting called State of the Fruit. We read these to the staff. We also read these to you, the audience out there. So, here it is. This is from Larry. Unbelievable. Wow, I am truly impressed. I thought this type of service was dead. I will certainly be back. Thank you very much, Larry.
Not you unbelievable, but unbelievable. Yeah.
It could be UN believable.
UN believable.
It could be that he believes in the UN.
Maybe he's going to go to the UN and tell them.
He believes in the UN and then all the other stuff too.
Awesome.
Okay. Adafruit Jobs Board. A long time ago, we looked at all the jobs board and we're like, these really are terrible because there's headhunters and scams and spam, and so we made one just for makers. And this is it. And every week, we go over a job. This week, this is kind of cool. Developer engagement and marketing for Particle, one of the coolest Internet of Things companies. If you're interested in developer communities and you want to do developer engagement and marketing, this is for usually we have like coding and engineering and very hardcore jobs that it's like you have to be able to do this type of complex circuitry. If that is what you really like, but that's not what you do, and you want to get developers in, this is one of the things for you. So there's entire jobs around, like, I don't code anymore.
Usually it's called like an apps engineer, but it's interesting. They're kind of taking it in like a market. They're like, oh, it's marketing because like that's how we sell the product.
Yeah, like I don't code anymore, but I really celebrate people who code. Like I really like getting the word out and doing that. And I appreciate it because I used to do it. And so That's what are you laughing at?
No, it's just funny. It's just like it's like once you've coded, like even if you've coded, you have programs in Java, you still know like all programming languages. Like it's not gotten better.
No,
it's only gotten worse.
no. I think it just changes more now.
Yeah.
Like you have to go to framework very fast. Before you can kind of get by on like I know Java. You're cool for like 5 years.
Yeah, Java lasted like 5 years. Now you learn something. You're only good for like 6 months.
I can't keep up.
Right.
Okay, so that's Jobs Word this week. So I'll just hop around. I have some news. I'm done.
That's not your tattoo.
I'm done.
Okay.
That's my news. I'm done. Goodbye.
Bye.
No, this is someone got a Hackaday tattoo.
Yeah.
So this is a logo I designed 10 years ago. It's actually more than 10 years ago, and I started a site called Hackaday.
They call it the Jolly Rancher, which is a pretty good name.
I didn't come up with that name.
Pretty good name.
Later on, someone else called it the Jolly Rancher. So my opinion, if you are a designer at some point in your life, you're not finished. You can't say I designed a thing until it's a logo that lasts a while, and it gets as a tattoo. I think it matters. They say, I want to live with this for the rest of my life.
We know people have gotten the open source hardware logo tattooed.
Yeah, well, that has a very complicated
That's
story.
a complicated history, which you have a little bit.
Yeah, it appears that the open source hardware logo, the Gear one's based on my logo, which the OSI based their logo on.
Okay, so you get two.
But it's messy.
One and a half?
It's messy.
Do you get like 25% credit?
No, this one for sure.
Okay.
So anyways, someone got...
okay, we'll see if the Adafruit logo also gets
Yeah, and one thing, like, Hackaday has gone through, like, different ownership, and I'm a fan. I read the site every day. The people that are running it are mostly doing a pretty good job. I like that the site is surviving and doing well. There's a lot of interesting things they're doing. I'd like to see them celebrate more diversity in tech out there. That's my request. Aside from that, they're doing a really good job. So, got to say that. It's true. All right. Speaking of open source hardware, this is that logo you're talking about. Yeah.
Well, I can't get any tattoos, but I would get the Adafruit logo tattoo. If I was going to get a tattoo, I probably would get the Adafruit logo tattoo. Why not?
Okay.
It's my thing.
Okay. Well, I worked on that one too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You could
All right.
3 for 3.
But that one, the latest one, Bruce and I worked on, he refined it and he did a really good job. So open source hardware news, we're shipping the Megas. A reminder, if you're looking for a Mega from the real Arduino or arduino.cc, we make them, we ship them here in USA. Expect and request no substitutions.
It says assembled in USA on the back. That's how you know.
USA, made by gothy people. You want them.
Made by New Yorkers.
Okay, so that's one of the things that can help us too. If people demand from where they get Arduinos, that they're from arduino.cc.
Yeah, if you're buying from us, then yes, you're going to get the ones that we made, of course. But if you're shopping from elsewhere, which is totally cool, please buy wherever is best for you. Please ask and request that the people who you're buying from get genuine Arduinos, that the money gets contributed back to arduino.cc so that they can work on the IDE and work on libraries, and they've done a ton of work on the IDE recently, and it's been awesome. They're working on more products, they're working on more cores, they're actually stepping up, doing a really good job. The money helps, as is true in a capitalist society. So please support them by purchasing genuine Arduinos.
Yeah. All right. 858 tutorials. We're doing that word texting it. 858. Yeah. So the Adafruit Learning System has 858 tutorials this week on the big board.
We have Tony Nicola's tutorial, Track Your Treats Halloween Candy GPS Tracker. This is a great project. It's a project we wanted to do anyways because we have a phone at 808 which has cellular and GPS built in, but we also have a GPS data logger, and it's Halloween. So we came up with this idea of you have a candy bowl that you could go around and you could map the person trick-or-treating, so you could send your kids out or your loved one and send them out trick-or-treating, and you can watch them on Adafruit.io live as they go through their path, and then when they get to a house with very good candy, they press the button on the side and it will log that location, and if they're using the cellular version, it will update Adafruit.io and say, this is where the good candy's at. And so then you can know where to go back to or who to send other people to. Because like you want the Snickers bars, little mini Snickers bars. You don't want like the wax bottles.
Yeah.
Or the Necco wafers.
Okay, next up.
This is also a good project. This is another Adafruit IO project. This is actually was on the show and tell a week ago or 2 weeks ago from Richard. And basically there's two ESP8266 boards, the Huzzah boards, and one has three buttons on it, red, green, blue, top buttons that's on the right side, left, whatever, the other that side over there. And on the other side, there's a Huzzah with an RGB LED. And then they're basically connected to the Adafruit IO. So even though there's two circuit boards, there's no wires between them. When you press a button on the first one, it sends a Wi-Fi message to Adafruit IO and says, this button was pressed, and the gauge updates and tells you. And then the other Wi-Fi board gets that data, and if it was a red button pressed, it displays red LED. If it was green, the LED turns green. If it was blue, it turns blue. And he made this for his friend who got hurt in a car accident, and she's stuck in bed. And so this way she can send messages like, hey, I'm hungry, or I need help getting out of bed, or fluff my pillows, or bring me some breakfast, or whatever, using these buttons. And whether he's at work or at home or wherever he is, he will get that message. This is a kind of interesting, useful project. Shows Adafruit IO, and the cool thing is that even though this is using Wi-Fi, the latency is nearly instant. Like when you press the button, the LED updates within about 1/10 of a second.
Yeah.
And we have our tutorial guide for the Bluefruit LE Shield. This is the new product for this week. This shield has our Bluetooth Low Energy module on it, and it's Arduino shaped, so perfect for Arduinos. It uses SPI, so if you've got an Arduino Uno, a Leonardo, or Meg or Doi, it should all work because it uses SPI and SPI transactions. Add Bluetooth Energy for a very, very good price, like about $20. You can add very good quality Bluetooth Energy. It works awesome, and we have working code for all the Arduinos, and we have a app for iOS, Android, and the Apple Watch.
Okay. All right, moving right along. Adafruit comic reading list. Every week we post some of the comic books and more from people who work here at Adafruit. We went to Comic-Con. We met a bunch of cool people.
Yeah, that was last weekend.
We'll, I'll be doing my coverage maybe tomorrow.
Yeah.
From Comic-Con. We went in with a bunch of LEDs. People really want to do electronics. They don't know about electronics yet. We met a bunch of people that are going to do electronics. Yeah. It was kind of cool. This week, Zay posted up as part of our National Hispanic Heritage Month. The Los Brothers Hernandez, Jamie Gilbert, and Mario, they're self-published, and they're really, really known in the world of indie comics. So from Love and Rockets to Maggie the Mechanic, these are, as they said, what Pulp Fiction did for movies, this is what they did for comics.
Oh yeah, Love and Rockets, pretty much, it didn't pave the way completely for, I mean, there's people who were doing indie comics before, but it was one of the hugest hits in indie comics. Yeah. And kind of opened up the eyes of the people doing like big brand comics to like, whoa, people want complicated stories with personalities, and it's about their lives. It's more emotional and not just like hit that person and put them in jail and be the Punisher. Yeah,
I'll tell you one of the things that I'm noticing is, and why you see a lot of comic book stuff related to Adafruit happening, because it is the culture. Everyone reads comic books in some way. It is the thing that everyone has a hero or an opinion or something. It's all walks of life. The demographics of comic books is completely all over the place, and it's just one of the big uniters. I'd say going to Comic-Con was more enjoyable than going to a tech conference because there were so many different people there. Yeah. And that was really neat.
Clothes were great too.
Yeah, that was really neat. And so Adafruit is, we're in this wave. And instead of like being an electronics company that would never talk about comic books, we want to do things like make stuff for people who like to do costumes. The people here at the company, we're all comic book
They love comics,
geeks.
yeah.
We're all and we really like it. And it's one of the things that everybody, I mean, like we'll show, basically a company photo, everybody in some way reads something or has or part of it. So it's pretty cool. So that's in case you're wondering.
Or has a tattoo.
or has multiple tattoos.
Of comic book characters.
Okay. Time travel. This week we did not post time travel. There's a reason why we didn't. It's because Tuesday was Ada Lovelace Day, the biggest celebration of women in science, technology, engineering, math. It gets promoted all year long. The entire year is built around and culminated on
Ada Lovelace Day.
Ada Lovelace Day. October 13th this year. This is why our code is ALD15. Part of Ada Lovelace Day was posting up this photo. We got approval. So this is Lady Ada and Megan Smith. Megan Smith is the CTO of the US. There is nobody
More
higher.
CTO here. No,
nobody higher.
she's the technical chief.
Yeah, there's nobody higher that's responsible for the technology, efforts, offerings, you name it, for the US than Megan Smith. CTO of the United States came here to Adafruit. We just posted the video yesterday on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Adafruit, and it's a 30-minute video of Megan Smith and Megan Brewster talking to you, and you're showing all the engineering. So this is like really historic. We don't really get a ton of visitors from the White House. You were able to interview the president not too long ago. And
That was a few years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This was well, again, there's no such thing as time.
Oh, that's true. Time
So,
doesn't exist. Sorry, I forgot.
Yeah, do you remember it? It happened yesterday, or it's a million years ago.
Okay, so she visited, and that was last week.
Yeah, so she visited last week, so that was part of our Ada Lovelace Day celebration. We had a whole series of posts. We did like a post an hour.
25 posts.
Yeah.
Bonus. We had
Yeah.
a bonus post.
And the cool thing about Ada Lovelace Day is it's an excellent opportunity for companies and brands and communities and magazines and websites, you name it, can just spotlight women in tech because they don't get the spotlight enough. They just don't. One of the funny things when I was searching for an old post on Make, I ran into a post. So Sean Michael Reagan, an editor at Make, wrote a post about you back in 2011, trying to lobby to get you on the cover of Fast Company. I think this was before the Wired thing hit.
Yeah.
Because Fast Company doesn't have women scientists or women engineers or
They
women.
have a bit of an issue.
There's the Uber guy or the Uber guy every week now. So, or next week Uber guy or Elon Musk maybe, and maybe the both of them. So he was lobbying for this.
The changing face of transportation.
Yeah, the changing face of dude or dude. So one of the cool things is we decided to take another photo. Every year we take a photo. And this is, there's 15 women missing from this photo who work at or with Adafruit.
Yeah.
So this is just a small glimpse of
I like how we
our
actually
company.
have, so what's cool about this photo is in our company, we have more women wearing black and white striped shirts than most tech companies have women at all.
Yeah, sure.
No, that's not, well, for small companies, but this is about 2/3 of the women at Adafruit,
Yeah.
our team. They span from kitting, fabrication, management, HR, accounting, finance, production management,
Yeah.
kitting, new product and catalog development, new business development, wearable, like everything.
Yeah.
And,
So-
and lead engineer. That's me.
Yeah.
Engineering, yes. So
Yeah, and you wrote all this. You wrote all the code that started to run the site. Like you're the first programmer here.
yeah. Oh, web development. We also have web.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have every department is represented here.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
and then again, like it's hard. So we shot this photo on a Monday not too long ago. Different people work different schedules, so there's about 13 people missing. So we're really proud of this, and I also wanted to personally thank, because we spend a lot of time trying to get the word out with Ada Lovelace, so special thanks to Evil Mad Scientist Laboratories and SparkFun, both electronic companies in our space who did posts. It's free. It's an easy thing to do.
It doesn't cost to blog.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to more sites in our community doing this. Next year, I'd like to see Make do some posts about Ada Lovelace Day. I'd like to see Hackaday do some posts about Ada Lovelace Day. It's just one day, just pick someone on your staff who's a woman and spotlight them. That's cool too. Whatever it is.
You can go back to
Yeah.
spotlighting guys for the other 364 days a year. It's fine.
So I'm gonna do a virtual thing. Sherry and Luis at Make, who do Maker Faire, are amazing. They're like some of the.
They run Maker Faire.
Yeah, they do.
Everyone.
They do a great, amazing job with Maker Faire. New York Maker Faire was so well run and so perfect. So happy Ada Lovelace Day to you, Sherry and Louise. And then I also want to do a shout out to Sophie at Hackaday, who's done an amazing job on all the Hackaday stuff. So you were a judge. She did a great job with that.
No, she's awesome.
So that's our shout outs. Maybe those sites will highlight them next year. Okay.
Yay.
All right.
Okay.
Next up, wearables. We have a video this week. This is a really cool one. Speaking of amazing women in tech, this is Becky, and this is the eyeball bowler.
In this week's costume project, we'll add a spooky animated eyeball display to the band of a bowler hat. This is just one project you can build with Philby's guide for electronic animated eyes using Teensy 3.1 or 3.2. Check out the link in the description for more suggestions and to grab all the sample code and other info you need to build your own. Follow the wiring instructions to solder up the power switch to the LiPoly backpack board and the OLED or TFT display to the Teensy, and route the wires back to the hat's ribbon bow. The battery can go further back in the ribbon band, and the main electronics here are obscured by the hat's feather accent. The screen shows through a hole in the ribbon band that you'll cut to match the size of your acrylic half dome, which you can get at a plastic store or online. To hold the cabochon in place, we're using a 3D printed gasket, but you could also just cut one out of rubber or leather. Sew the gasket through the ribbon, display mounting holes, and main hat material to the inside of the hat using 2 needles at once, and then tie knots on the inside. Let us know what wearable electronics you're building for Halloween, and for more costume project tutorials, check out the playlist at the link in the description, and don't forget to subscribe.
All right. Okay, so this is one of the cooler projects that.
Yeah, this is a collaboration between Philby, somebody, I can't remember the name. There was somebody on a forum who made a basic eyeball, and they were like, "Oh, I can't quite get it very fast," or there was rendering only one. And Philby, who's had a history of making eyeball-based Halloween projects, and so he's like, "Well, I think with the Teensy 3.1, which we'll be talking about in the new product, so we have a new version of it." He thinks, I thought, it could be fast enough. It could do fast enough to do animations and actually be like live speed. And he was actually able to do it, and it looks really good. Like it's really creepy.
It looks a little too good.
It looks a little too good. There's a little bit of a flicker from the camera, but of course in real life you don't see it.
Yeah.
It's just the video camera resolution. There's also a version that's
If it's working.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's also, wait, you know what? Let's get this safely out of here.
Yeah, just leave it. That's fine.
Yeah, so there's also a version that's an Eye of Sauron, like a slit eye, like a cat eye.
Yeah.
And then there's also, you can change the color of the pupils and stuff. Check out the photo. It's a great project. Oh, do you want to pop back to the...
No, I'm just going to leave it on overhead.
No, whatever. It's a great fun project. I mean, you can put it on anything, but we thought it'd be fun to put it on a bowler, so it's kind of like your third eye. And then Becky, of course, did 3D printing and some really nice hiding. So the circuitry is behind this feather. The feather like totally hides it, so you can just put this on and off. And the battery is in the brim as well. So a very cute project for Halloween.
Yeah.
I like hat projects.
Yeah.
Because they're good accessories. You can always
Good
put it on.
time for hats. Okay. Don't forget, Becky's show is Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every single Wednesday, Wearable Electronics with Becky Show. The Becky Show. Mm-hmm. Wearable Electronics.
Becky Show.
Wearable Electronics with the Becky Show. That's not the name of the show. It's Wearable Electronics with Becky Stern.
And sometimes Jessica, Colin.
Yeah, and sometimes me. 3D printing. This week we have an amazing video from Noah and Pedro. Do you know which video this is? It's the one that's coming out tomorrow.
This is the Wasp helmet that I could barely say earlier.
That's right. Here it is.
Coming up, Halloween, cosplay, and 3D printing. So Halloween is our favorite holiday here at Adafruit, and this year we're collaborating with Philip Burgess and Aaron St. Blaine to come up with another epic Halloween project. So let's check it out. Inspired by the Ant-Man movie, Aaron's going to be the Avengers character Wasp. Phil B scanned Aaron's head with an Xbox 360 Kinect using Skinect 3D scanning software. And with a 1:1 scale, Pedro was able to design features around her 3D mesh. Combining primitive shapes, build up the helmet, and solids were saved just in case any adjustments need to be made. The helmet is split up into 3 main pieces so that it's more manageable to 3D print, and this avoids using support material. Parts fit on a large bed like the Type A machines and the Ultimaker 2. It takes about 10 hours for each piece, so having a battery backup and a fresh spool of filament really helped ensure the successful print. A few iterations were based on test fitting to make sure that it's comfortable and wearable. Pockets on the edge of the part allow you to insert wooden craft sticks. This helps join the parts and keeps them aligned. E6000 adhesive will permanently bond these joints together. The tolerances will vary, but they press into place with a bit of force. It's also easy to trim the wooden sticks instead of sanding the pockets, which could risk breaking the parts. Assembly is pretty easy and straightforward. The face guard is slightly squeezed into the lining of the helmet, and it's secured in place with friction and then glued in place. To add lighting effects, we used an Adafruit Trinket microcontroller and 2 NeoPixel sticks. The NeoPixel LEDs can be mounted to the inside of the helmet, above the face guard near the eyebrows, while the microcontroller is secured with gaffer's tape off to the side. The face guard diffuses and spreads the light, making a really nice effect. It's actually easy to see through the face guard, and the helmet is really lightweight. The helmet is of course available to download and modify if you'd like to 3D print your own. Alright, so there you have it. For more details about this project, be sure to check out the Electronics Halloween blog post linked below. Also, be sure to check out Adafruit's Halloween playlist for more project ideas. But until then, be sure to subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a safe and awesome Halloween. I'll see you guys next time.
All right. Pedro, they're going to be talking about this on their show tomorrow.
What's funny is, I want to say 2 things about the video. One is, I think it's totally awesome that they did a Kinect scan of Aaron in order to fit the helmet on. Like, that's so cool and futuristic. Like, it's great to see like technology that we were part of from like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, come back and now is part of like a project we're making now. Like, it's like, yay, like it worked out. And second, I saw a previous version of the video a couple weeks ago that didn't have the fog machine, and the fog machine like totally makes it so much cooler.
Everything is better with the fog machine.
Everything's better with the fog machine.
It's kind of true.
What's funny, now that they have a fog machine, I don't know if they rented or bought one, but it's probably going to appear in other videos.
Yeah. The fog machine would be something like go to the dentist's office. If there's a fog machine, you'd be like, this is kind of cool. Like, it just would make it better. It just makes everything better.
Everything. Starbucks should have a fog machine.
I've never been in a situation where a fog machine made things worse.
Do you want to have a fog machine in the bathroom? Yeah, why not?
Well, yeah, I mean, sure. I mean,
at the gym?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I would do
all right.
That. All right.
We can, you know what? There are a little portable fog, like you get the little ultrasonic thing. We can make a portable.
Yeah, instead of vaping, I can just have a thing right here. I can just always be fogging.
Always be fogging. ABF. Yeah. Always be fogging.
All right. So Noah and Pedro's show is every Thursday at 3 p.m. 3D Thursday Hangout with Noah and Pedro. Lady Ada, let's do the code because it's almost time for new products.
It's almost that time.
All right, the code is ALD15. That's 10% off the Adafruit store all the way up to 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Beta Lovelace Day.
Tonight.
15.
Yeah, so that's what it is. And here it is, new products. Let's do
new,
this.
New.
All right.
Okay. This is kind of new, kind of update. This is the TC 3.2. It's kind of, we actually made a new product idea because it's just like, it is a little bit different than the 3.1. It has a new voltage regulator that can handle, I think, like 250 plus milliamps compared to the previous one. I think it has an external regulator I think this thing over here is regulator. And so you can use it for like powering like, ESP8266 type boards and other boards that require like 250 milliamps. So it has, onboard 3-volt regulator. It's still the chip that is from the 3.1. It's pin compatible. It's really just an upgrade. Everything that used to work should still work. So feel free to use it instead of a 3.1. Still has like the extra RAM and the extra memory over the 3.0. It's just a nice little upgrade. Why not? Same price, get more. Who could say no?
Okay. And I did have a few photos. I showed some of them, but it also comes with this card. Yeah,
it comes with the pin I/O card, which is very handy.
Yeah,
we toss in some header. The TNC3 series is great. It's like ultra powerful, has DMA. Paul Stoffergen has done an excellent job of adapting our libraries to work with them. We're also doing it ourselves. We're going back and trying to update our libraries to make them compatible with like SPI transactionals, like good stuff. But either way, it is a lovely small board.
All right, next up.
Okay, we have 2 Adafruit made things today. This week, starting off, we have the LM3671 buck converter. I'm not going to show this on the overhead because this photo is way better than I could show you on the overhead. It's a little buck converter that we're probably going to use in some future things. And I thought, you know what? It might be handy to have this in the store. Basically, you can take like 3.3 to 5 volts in and convert it to 3.3 volts out. What's nice about this one is the chip is very low cost. It has an internal synchronous buck, so it has like the transistor and diode on the inside. So you really only need input capacitor, output capacitor, and then you don't even need the enable pull up, but we added it just so that you could use the enable pin. So like you could, if you wanted to, have a 3-component buck converter, really inductor and chip. It was one of the easiest, lowest cost ways to make a 3.3 volt buck converter, and it can give you 600 milliamps peak. And I've done that. I connected up to 5 volts, put my programmable load on it, and got 600 milliamps consistency. Like it did droop a little bit, but it's probably from the cables. I got like 3.2 volts. So this is a great buck converter for, let's say you're making a Wi-Fi board, and your Wi-Fi peaks at 250, 300 milliamps, you want something like this.
I was going to ask, what type of thing? You said you're going to use this for maybe some things. Like what type of things?
It would be really great for something like a Wi-Fi enabled board that was very power efficient, very low power.
We must be working on that.
No, I'm just saying if someone were to do that and they wanted to make sure that they had extremely low quiescent current because they were intending this to be an extremely low power,
this is a
Wi-Fi
good choice.
board, this would be an excellent choice.
Okay. All right, next up. The star of the show tonight, besides you, is this.
And you're also the star, You're the secret star.
No, I'm not.
You're the backup band. This is the Bluefruit LE Shield. So over the last, actually it's been like 2 years, but as far as people can tell, it's been 3 months. We've been cranking out different formats and versions of the Bluefruit LE. This is our Bluetooth Low Energy solution. K-Town, Kevin K-Town, the K-Town Townsend, has done an excellent job with writing our own firmware for the NRF51822. We have an FCC certified module. We have it in little breakout shapes. We have it in Flora shape. We have it in USB friendly shape. And we're pretty much done. We have now a shield shape. And what's nice is that the module is so self-contained and so small that like the module's over there in the corner, and then we have like tons of proto area. This module uses SPI, and so which is really nice. Most Bluetooth modules, I don't know if you were aware, most Bluetooth Energy modules, use UART, which is fine. The problem is that most processors only have one UART, especially for something like the Uno. That UART is taken for uploading, and even if you weren't using that for uploading, it's very rare to have more than one UART, and that UART is a precious commodity, and so you don't want to waste it if you can use something like SPI or I2C. Well, Kevin Townsend, K-Town, we wrote an SPI core for the transport layer for this processor, so you can basically use it as an SPI to UART converter inside the chip. And so, what's nice about this is that using the ICSP header, it works with any Arduino because it uses SPI and doesn't require special hardware pins like the UART pins.
Yeah. This is one of those times where I watch you and K-Town work together on something for like a year or so.
This was 2 years.
And then like it's just the best, and then it's over.
Yeah, this is the only SPI transport Bluetooth Low Energy module.
That's right.
And SPI, it's great. I mean, yes, it's a couple more pins, but it's like solid, consistent. There's an our interrupt request pin, and I have my demo that I'm going to do.
I like that you could build anything on top of it too. There's a nice.
There's a ton of proto area, and it's Bluetooth Low Energy. We even stick on a 3-volt regulator just in case you have an
Arduino. Live demo
Arduino.
of this thing?
Yeah, if your Arduino doesn't have a 3-volt regulator, we added it.
Okay.
So I have. Hold on, let me do the locked and loaded. So yeah, we can show you it's plugged in with the SPI connector. I'm using an Arduino Uno made in the US, but you can use any Arduino or compatible. And then, you know what, I'll totally, 1 second, quit this. So you can download our free app. It's available for iOS or Android. I happen to be using my iPad mini, but you can use your Nexus 7 or Nexus 5 or whatever. And then this is ready to rock. You can see that it's blinking. It means it's waiting for connection. Connect, and there's multiple modes you can use. UART mode, which is, I'll just show this off. You can send data back and forth between the Arduino and the app. There's also pin I/O mode where you can like set the pins to be input, output, analog. Read them, PWM and stuff. So I connect. There's also the firmware update. If you want to update the firmware on the module, we have over there updating. I don't need to do that. And then there's controller. And controller's kind of neat. It lets you take the data from the phone, Android or iOS, and send it to the Arduino. So for example, quaternion location data, so the orientation of the phone. So you can use it basically as an accelerometer, gyro, magnetometer. If you have GPS turned on, you can send the GPS location to the Arduino as well. So like you don't have to get an Arduino shield for GPS if you have Bluetooth Energy. You just use your phone because it's got GPS built in. There's a control pad, so you can basically control some sort of device, move up and down, left, right, or 8 buttons, whatever you want. And then there's color picker, which is the demo I'll be doing because it's the easiest demo. And then you just select the color you want, click send, and then instantly it's updated with your favorite color. So this is just, you can use any of you use the color picker and then go back and use the control pad. Just a demo showing like, hey, it's very fast and very easy to add wireless. This is one of the example demo code that comes in. Basically, it listens for it sends the red, green, blue value, it sends that back, and it just displays it on NeoPixel. So, like, never has it been easier to add Bluetooth Low Energy. It is the bestest and happiest Bluetooth Low Energy. It's Bluefruit, and we love it, and that's why we have a shield for it now.
Okay, and with that is new products. That's it. Oop. So all the things you saw, if it's in stock, code is ALD15, 10% off all the way up to 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. Get on it. This is what pays the bills. We have no sponsors.
Do you know how expensive it is to pay a developer to do 18 months of Bluetooth Low Energy course?
A lot. Yeah, I look at the numbers.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. So,
but they can help.
Well, and it's worth it too, because it means everybody out there is not going to have the worst Bluetooth experience, which they've previously had.
Yeah.
So, we don't have sponsorships, we don't have ads, we don't have venture funding, we don't have loans. The only thing that keeps this going is all of you. So pick up a kit, use the code. Let's do questions.
Yeah, we have time for questions.
I have a bunch lined up, so you have to speed round.
I can speed it. I can do it. I'm doing it.
You ready?
Yeah.
First one, the breadboard NeoPixels have plastic components. I soldered dot stars to breakouts. Should I add caps?
If you have less than 10, you don't have to. If you're using like an Arduino or Arduino compatible or something like that to drive them, it already has pretty big capacitance on the board. So you don't have to go too crazy. If you have a couple of like 0.1 microfarad, 10 microfarad caps, you can just add one on one of the power rails. That's probably fine. What you need the capacitors for is when you have like 100 that can actually give you big spikes in your power rails.
Okay. Next up. Are the Adafruit 16-channel 12-bit PWM servo hat and Adafruit Ultimate GPS hat for Raspberry Pi stackable? I was not able to identify which pins are used on PWM and wasn't sure about hardware UART.
It's a good question. They are. The GPS uses the hardware UART, which is RX and TX, and the PWM shield, the PWM hat uses the I2C pins. So you can stack and use the I2C pins, even if there's an I2C device. That's the nice thing about I2C. Whereas, as we mentioned before, UARTs, once you use them, you can't use them for anything else. And so you can't use 2 GPSs, but you can use a GPS hat and a PWM hat just fine. But you have to get the stacking headers.
Okay, what tablet is Lady Ada using?
This tablet is an iPad mini. It is our Bluetooth LE test-in tablet.
Okay. Next up, what is the best way to control a trinket from my Python on a Raspberry Pi?
That's a good question. So a trinket proper is a little tough. You can use a Pro Trinket. Let me think. That's the best way to do it. Because you're probably not going to want to write a USB HID interface. Honestly, the best way to do it is to use like a USB to serial converter, like an FTDI friend or a USB console cable, and then connect the ARC and TX pins to something like a Pro Trinket to the FTDI header, and then you just use Pi Serial, which is a really easy to use serial library for Python. You basically say open up the COM port and you open up like dev USB TTY0 or whatever, and then you can read and write data directly from the Arduino. If you have a Pro Trinket, it's also possible, because it's at Atmega 328, there is an I2C slave program that will let you use I2C from a Raspberry Pi, but like then you're kind of writing a lot of, you'll have to write the code for that. It's a little bit hairier.
Yeah. Next up, the question was, what are some of the things that you wish you could automate at Adafruit? I would say right now we're pretty automated.
It's automated, yeah.
We're automated as possible. I think the things in the past that I would have said was we really need to have like an almost automated tested procedure for all of our electronics. We do now. It's very automated.
We have very good test and prep procedures. I wish we could prep things with that. Automated. That'd be great.
Yeah, prep is one of the hard things. Like putting things in bags and putting barcodes on them.
Yeah.
Is at some point you just have to spend the time.
We have to put every product we sell goes into an anti-static bag and has a barcode on it. I can show that off. Do you want to go to the overhead?
Yeah, let's keep moving.
But like this. But it takes time to print out the labels and put them on.
Does the Arduino have enough system memory and resources to handle the PID library, Adafruit sensor, BNO55, and libraries for the motor shield to guide a servo motor in terms of orientation and location GPS? It's going to be going through Kalman filtering for autonomous flight control. That's a lot.
That's a lot. You probably could squeeze it in, but you would be kind of miserable doing it. A Teensy 3.2 that we just showed would be a great option. It has like 64K of RAM and 256K of flash. So that's a lot of memory, both flash and RAM, and would be able to do all those things.
Okay. Next up, can you create a Trinket Pro capable data logger? Working on it.
I'm working on something like that.
I mean, let's be straight up. It's called Ada Logger. We're working on it.
Yeah.
It's called Ada Logger. Isn't that a cool name? That's a cool name.
You came up with it. Yes, your credit. Ada Logger. It's all you. What?
I think.
Why are you staring at me? You did.
I mean, like, I thought you had come up with it.
No, Ada Logger was you. You came up with that. You came up with Feather and Ada Logger.
I don't know if Ada. I think Ada Logger we talked about though.
But you came up with it, and I was like, "Ooh, that's a really good one."
I don't think so. I don't think I did.
I came up with the name Flora and Gemma, but you came up with Ada Logger.
I disagree about some of that. Okay. Does the Arduino... Oh, no, they already asked this question. Okay, great. Let me go back. I think we're through most of the questions. Oh, can you program a Teensy in C?
Yes, you can. You program it directly in AVR GCC. The Teensy 2.0 or the Teensy 3, you'll have to use the EB, I don't know how to pronounce it, the Cortex M4 GCC compiler. You can program it directly in C. The Arduino IDE uses a C++, which is very lightweight. So if you don't mind having a class once in a while, it's C-like.
Okay. All right, and then let me hop back over. Let's see. There was what's the module for the Bluetooth Low Energy? Or what's the?
It's the Nordic NRF 51822.
Okay. Why did you guys pick that one?
It's the best one.
That's why?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see. This is a follow-up. The Adafruit 16-channel 12-bit PWM server hub is limited controlling ESCs under 1 kilohertz. Most RC cards are over this, like 6 kilohertz. Is there easy workaround?
Yeah, it's not meant for ESCs. It's meant for like kind of classic analog or digital servos. Yeah, I believe that that chip cannot go above 1 kilohertz PWM, like full duty cycle rate. I mean, yeah, it has high precision, but yeah, the frequency it's actually designed for LEDs.
Okay.
Honestly, we're hacking it to use it for servos and motors. But yeah, if something needs to have a 6 kilohertz update refresh, that's not gonna. You're gonna have to do something else.
Okay, I have a 12 volt DC 2.4 milliamp hour battery with wireless charger. How can I charge?
I don't know, you have to probably contact the place you got the battery from, and they probably have a charger for that chemistry.
Yeah, it's pretty specific.
Yeah, you don't want to mix the chemistry. You should whoever you bought it from should be able to tell you what kind of chemistry it is, and then what charger to use.
Yeah. All right. Those are the questions for tonight, Lady Ada.
Okay.
Good work.
Yay! Some great questions.
Now they want a new picture of the cat.
If you watch the periscopes when we do Desk of Lady
have a
Ada,
video
you can
of
watch
Cat all the
live,
time.
living, breathing
Yeah.
cat.
I mean, I have other photo of cat from stuff. I mean, like.
You want to show that one?
Yeah, sure. Oh man.
What's mouse cat? Oh, that's the one we have.
I want to scream sometimes because like Wirecast is kind of worse. All right, so here's a picture of MOSFET. This is right before we moved, so he was in a box. I think he thought we were gonna leave him, so he's like, "I live here now."
Yeah, we were packing up to move,
Yeah,
and
then
the box was left over.
That's from us. Like, I'm not gonna do that. And then this is an older photo, but I'll do it anyways. Fine. Just hanging out,
Just chilling.
just chilling cat
Just
style.
chilling with his cat.
Just hey.
He doesn't have cat friends.
Hey. And this is the one I had, and then this was the one that we were using for a while. So I don't know, just turn into a cat show.
Yeah, but if you watch Periscope, the cat always gets kind of interested and shows up.
Yeah.
So that's a good time to watch. A good reason to watch watch Desk of Lady Ada.
Can also go to adafruit.com/cats of engineering.
It's tons of cats, like 50
cats. The
cats.
largest collection of cats
How many cats
online
are
that do engineering. Like too many.
Too many cats.
Yeah.
How many
So,
cats?
Yeah, so too many.
An abundance.
Yeah, I don't quite understand. So we have like a kids show. We have this longest running show. We have all these cats and everything. I actually don't understand why the bigger media entities completely are allergic to this story. It's perfect. It has everything. It has cats. It has electronics. It has women and technology.
What are you talking about? We got tons of. Where'd the CTO of the United States show up?
The CTO of the United States is not mainstream media. And the people in the media that tend to want to do your story.
But we hate the mainstream media.
I'm surprised there isn't like film crews like from Good Morning America. Like this is a cool story.
We don't want to be on Good Morning.
No, I think
You want the View here? Like, we want the View.
Absolutely.
Oh man.
See, I'm not scared of that. I think it's great to bring all those folks in. It's just funny. It's like it's ignored. Like this is like
We don't look.
we get cats.
We were in a fashion magazine.
Yeah.
We were in Glamour.
It's all funny. It's weird. It comes from the side.
It's weird.
Hong Kong Startup Magazine. You're on
Hong
the cover
Kong
of.
Startup Magazine.
Yeah.
Hey, moving on up.
Yeah.
I think it's cool as we're actually going like down in like popularity. Like soon it's gonna be like circulation 4, which is great. Fine by me.
Yeah. Okay.
Be on cover of like a zine and it's handed out outside of Hudson Square.
Yeah. Just saying.
Whatever.
Like the Martha Stewart of making, like the Oprah of
Martha Stewart is
electronics.
not going to be doing Eagle CAD layout in her sweatshirt.
No, you are.
Tomorrow
and that's
night.
why I think it's so interesting. I mean, I don't care. I'm going to keep doing this. I'm just saying.
Let's do the trivia question
Yes,
and
I'm
give
doing
them their
trivia
prize.
questions. All right. You ready?
Yeah.
Trivia questions. We're going to give something away. What do you want to give away this week?
We're going to give away a Bluefruit shield.
Yeah.
Yes, a Bluefruit LE shield. Great for your Arduino or compatible.
All right. I gotta do this, and then a cat photo got sucked into this video thing. So,
That's
this
funny.
Is like Wirecast, like slurped in the photo. Like, okay. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
What are the rules?
Rules are if you've won something from this show, you can't win again. Only one winner per my lifetime. That prize is the Bluefruit LE shield. So again, if you've won something Go do something else. We want everyone to have a chance to win, and we've tried to make it easy for
Yeah.
the beginners to win. You can watch on Periscope, which is probably suggested.
Yeah,
YouTube
well, if you watch on Periscope, you can cheat. So,
or Ustream.
Anyways.
But it's not cheating. It's
Well, you can just see it. Anyways.
See it faster?
So here's the deal. Whoever I see who types in first gets it. And what is it again?
Bluefruit LE Shield.
The Blue Fruit LE Shield?
That's the thing I showed off.
Great. Okay. Here's a question. Who is the CTO of the United States right now? Who is the CTO of the United States right now? Who is the CTO of the United States right now?
This lady.
Do not say
Not
40,
me.
Do not say 42.
Do not say 42.
Yeah. Not funny. It's not Ada Lovelace either.
It's not me. It's not MOSFET.
And like, if you get all untitly, I'm not gonna pick you. Okay, congratulations, Stonebleeds, you got it. Megan Smith, Stonebleeds, you won. Email support@adafruit.com and say, hey, my name is Stonebleeds. I won the trivia contest.
I'm a bleeding stone, and I would like to add Bluetooth energy to my bleeding stone.
Congratulations.
Totally. Love it.
Stonebleeds.
Megan Smith is the
Yeah.
answer. Congratulations for winning.
Yeah.
I hope you can use this Bluetooth LE Shield. It's the best Bluetooth LE Shield.
Yeah.
And you can use it to do whatever. And then tell us about it.
Yeah. All right, that's the show for the night. A little reminder, be excellent to each other and be excellent in the comments. I'm just going to start banning people that I don't like. I'm sorry. Like, if you guys are bad in the comments.
Hey,
just
by the
consider
way, like, you know, commenters are free. We can get more.
that. If you're mean or, like, demandy and, like, awful, I'm just going to ban you. Sorry.
Okay.
Not going to spend a lot of time talking about it, but that's what
Well,
I'm
they're
gonna
not
do.
like, yeah, like whatever.
No, if you're mean, I'm just... Go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So,
Go to YouTube. They love you there.
yeah, you know what we found out? We read this Google thing, and you know, the most popular search engine is Google, and the second most popular search engine is YouTube, and it's starting to change.
Yeah.
So very soon, it's probably likely that most people will be searching on YouTube before Google, and most people are watching videos on their phone, and most people are doing everything on their phone. Absolutely amazing.
Well, on our walk home, we will probably have to avoid like 6 people who are like Tindering while walking or something. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the show for tonight. We'll see everybody next week. Thank you so much. Thank you all the supporters out there. This is what pays the bills.
This is what lets us write Bluetooth stacks.
Yeah.
Thanks. We appreciate it.
Code is ALD15 all the way up till 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. Don't forget, I showed many pictures of cats. Many
cats were
But
shown.
I will show this one since folks asked.
That's
And they
good.
asked nicely. If you ask nice, you get cat photos.
Well, I thought maybe we could train him to like sleep in the box, but he wasn't into
Yeah.
it.
And I'll wrap up with that B-roll that we have and also your moment of Zener. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.